On to our Business Industry Committee. Item number one, I'll call the meeting to order and move into public participation. Anyone from the public? Only once.
We have no one who signed up for us.
There you go. No one signed on. Included in the meeting invite was the minutes from our last meeting on October 2nd. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion by Sean. Is there a second? I heard a second. I did not hear who seconded though.
Sean.
Sean, thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item number 4, Health Science Career Cluster. I'll turn this over to Dr. Pritchard to introduce who will be doing the presentation. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you, Jim. You're running at breakneck speed. I gotta keep up. Hello, everybody. Great to see everybody. Yes, we're excited to have some of our programs before you for what is the start of a trade reauthorization process. One of the things that's spelled out in legislation is that this body needs to, on an annual basis, review a set of trades, and so we did this last year. We're going to do it again this year. We have some trades for you to look at, and what we'll do today is that Heidi Griffin and Chris Purdy may pop in as well. He's brand new to central office, but not to our district, to walk you through a little bit of that, and then you'll have an opportunity to read a bunch of background material and then come back at the March board meeting for, in February, we'll present this to the full board, but then in March, we'll vote on it. So there's plenty of time for you to chew on it, think about whether you've got some things you'd like for folks to think about. But before I turn it over, why don't I turn it over to Nikki and ask Nikki, our Assistant Superintendent of Teaching and Learning, if she wants to really formally present this, and we'll jump in.
Sure. I'm going to just do the intro. The programs that we're looking at today are biotechnology, bioenvironmental, vet technology, and our health technology programs. Our biotech, our bioenvironmental, and our vet tech programs are singular. Vet tech's at Vinyl. Bioenvironmental is at Grasso. Biotechnology is at Norwich. Vet technology is one of our newer programs that's doing really well in this cluster. Our health technology programs are located at 14 locations. Our newest one is in its third year, which is at Ellis Tech. This cluster is very strong, and we put a lot of time in this cluster and growing it. Our new science and health technology supervisor, Chris Purdy, is here. He was just hired, a couple months ago, well, January. So he's still new to the process, but we welcome him. And I just want to publicly say thank you to Heidi Griffin, who has taken over health technology for months since July, and helping put together this process. Heidi, I'm going to have you start with the PowerPoint.
I think Ronki is going to share the PowerPoint. I'm just going to speak to it. So good afternoon. I'm delighted to just kind of share some data with you, and in the full report is a kind of more of a breakdown of that data, so that you just have a good look at what it is that we're doing. So our first trade we're talking about is just at Norwich Tech. However, as you look at the information on your screen, you can see that the projected growth for this trade technology is 12.5% over the next few years, over the next 10 years, and in a variety of areas. In the full report, you can see that I have broken down this information to indicate which occupations are available for students with just a high school graduate and on-the-job training, and breaking it down through having an associate's, a bachelor's, and further education. So the most common areas of this trade technology, but especially for high school students, is really talking about lab assistant and biotech technicians and lab technicians, including manufacturing. One of the things that we've highlighted in this curriculum, and having a new department head and actually a newly hired instructor, is collaboration with some of the other trade technologies. So one of the things that I'm excited that they have been doing is they've been working with electronics as well as manufacturing and have developed a bionic hand that will assist students, or they actually created one for a student, but can be done elsewhere or for other patients. So they have created a bionic hand for someone to be used currently. And they have been working to do some more of those collaborative projects. They are a part of the ECE program with UConn and have been developing some additional programs for their ECE credits. And those are all reflected in the report. Before I move on to any other trades, does anyone have a question regarding the information here?
Are we going to talk about all of the trades at one time, or you want to talk about each one individually?
I'm comfortable to do either. So if you'd like, we can do kind of one at a time, I think. So you can kind of see the slide there, or if you would like to do them at the end, I'm welcome to do that.
I just had a couple questions on the bio ones.
Absolutely.
I noticed that you pulled, if you could go back to that slide. What school is this?
This one is at Norwich Technical High School.
At Norwich Tech. You know, I'm just giving you some feedback based on our regional sector partnerships. So the majority of the bioscience companies are really located in New Haven, although we do have Pfizer in the Groton area still. And so I'm just interested to know from your experience with the students that are graduating here, how many of them are going on to college and how many are leaving and going directly into careers, and how successful have they been in these entry-level careers in biotechnology? Because we've just been struggling with these entry-level positions in a really significant way in the New Haven region.
So I can share with you that we've probably experienced some level of complexity there as well. However, one of the things that we had going for us is, and the graduate follow-up data from the data unit didn't come in time for me to do it in the report, but I do want to share that I did receive it yesterday. So the larger number of students from Norwich are going directly to college. They are not going into the direct workforce. And so we've definitely experienced some issues there. However, they are kind of partnering with some things at Grossotech, which is the bioenvironmental program, and doing some more things in water treatment, as well as working in facilities like Mystic Aquarium. So they have been able to get some entry-level positions there in some of those areas, not as much as in the lab as they might have liked, which is partly why I believe that they've really explored that ECE program and going on to UConn as well as on to the community colleges in that sector.
I think these are great programs that feed up into higher ed and making those kind of adjustments into water treatment. And the Mystic Seaport just launched a really cool like jobs core academy like at the seaport. So those kinds of things are really innovative. But just I think when students pick these types of careers, do they get a good understanding that to really move these types of careers forward, it does require a 4-year degree? Are they not graduating with an anticipation that they're then going to go work in some of these clinical biotech jobs?
So we really do, I believe, a great job of during our freshman exploratory kind of explaining the career opportunities in each of our trades, but this one in particular of really kind of highlighting that for you to be making the type of money. So when we have the range and in the full report, you can see, you know, we talk about a biochemist and a biophysicist, but we also talk about that needing to have a bachelor's degree. Is that salary at $96,000? Yes. However, you have to have a higher level of education. The entry-level positions, lab assistants, lab support, are at $41,000, and those are ones that provide an opportunity right out of high school with some on-the-job training. But we have had some success with students doing that as well.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome. So do you want to go right into the next ones, Ronki? So our next trade is the bioenvironmental. And as I shared a little bit earlier, we do have some collaboration and partnership with the two programs, especially because geographically they are in close proximity. So this program is offered only at Grasso Technical High School. And we did some curriculum revisions that are highlighted as well on wastewater management, and really including some of that in there with water quality treatments, as well as some of the farming processes and regenerative processes for environmental technicians. We have great success with placement. I was so excited to hear you mentioning the Mystic Seaport and Mystic Aquarium, because every single one of our juniors and seniors are doing internships with Mystic. So they have training, they're doing much of the behind the scenes with lab work, as well as treatment of the animals and the facilities there. And so we're excited with some of the things that we're incorporating in that program. We've had some difficulties with our greenhouse in the way that it was built initially. And so having to pivot our curriculum and really focusing more around treatment of those, really incorporating the wildlife as well as incorporating the water treatment, and pivoting our curriculum to move in that direction. And those students are made quite aware too that this may not be a direct pathway into the workforce. While there are career opportunities and you see the growth index for that, you will also see that, again, the median wage for a high school diploma student going into wastewater treatment and management is $63,000, where those students with bachelor's degrees and higher are significantly higher. Are there any questions related to BET before we move on to vet science?
Heidi, can I just add that one of the students we recently showcased at the Regional Sector Partnership was a student who graduated from Grasso and is working at Veolia and has already reached certifications and licensing at a very, very young age. And so it's very exciting, that partnership with them and with Grasso. So we had an opportunity to celebrate that with the governor back at the end of the calendar year. Just really exciting.
Yes, yes. Moving on to veterinary science. This is one that I've been overseeing for a couple of years now, so I'm very excited about. We are the only public high school that has our certifications to be a grooming facility. So we operate a full grooming facility out of our veterinary science program. And again, you'll see through this entire report, they are predicted to have the largest percentage of growth. However, most of the jobs that are out of high school or entry-level positions may not be as high paying as some of the ones that they would do going forward. However, in their junior year, they can take certifications to be for a certified vet assistant. And again, really bringing those numbers up a little higher for some of those higher salary positions. We are partnered with Middlesex Community College in an articulation agreement. And so for the most part, they can actually get credits for almost their first year of an associate's program by participating in our veterinary science program at Vinyl. We've also increased our revenue stream at Vinyl by doing some cat sitting, dog sitting, having some vet services available. So many of the teachers are utilizing that, especially if they know they're going to have after school programs or things that they're going to be gone for a better part of the day. So we are doing a charging for our kenneling during the day and providing entertainment and exercise for some of those animals throughout the course of the day, as well as having some live animals on site. We are partnered with Piper and Olson Veterinary Clinic. So students get opportunities to actually be in veterinary labs, in the hospital, in the surgical rooms, and seeing some of the patients live that are getting treatment at a higher level of care than we can provide. Finally is our health technology program. And as you may know, our juniors get certified as a certified nurse assistant. And the entry-level positions actually in health technology, are at a higher level wage commitment than any of the other trades that we have. I think if one thing we learned from the pandemic is that we will always need to have a large number of medical professionals that are willing to do varieties of work. So our work-based learning numbers, and I think the report from Brent was shared with you as well, but you'll see that the numbers of student opportunities in the healthcare field is one of the highest that we have. Some of our challenges we experience in the health technology field is many hospitals will allow their students to do clinicals to get their CNA or medical assistant license. But once it comes time to come unsupervised, they're not able to take them until after the age of 18. So that is definitely more of a senior opportunity as opposed to a junior opportunity. But we do have a large number of students in this area that go on to college as well.
Heidi, if I could, just before, because I know Kelly may want to talk about this as well. So one of the other things while we waited for Chris to arrive is I stood in and created a relationship with Department of Developmental Services, and Office of Workforce Strategy has been working on this as well. So we have introduced at 3 of our schools, they're developing a partnership with their health tech program and a local community provider who serves individuals with intellectual disabilities. And we're talking about the opportunity again in their senior year after they've already gotten their CNA certifications to do some work as a direct service worker, which allows them to train with another set of curriculum and gain a credential and hopefully, get excited about serving that population and potentially moving in to that industry as well. So we have 3 very strong providers in the community who are partnering with 3 of our technical high schools to see what kinds of opportunities they can, bring in speakers, do some of that stuff, but also hopefully promote some internships. So Kelly, I just wanted to set you up for that as well.
Great. Thank you so much, Alice. We're really excited about that program. It's been a really great, very large collaborative process. So we're excited. The question also that I had is CT State is developing LPN programming now for credit. And I know several years back, we talked about a pilot program with Quinebaug Valley and it's Ellis out there, right?
Yeah.
In the LPN sphere. And I kind of lost track of like where that's at. Is that something that you guys are still pursuing, or could we pursue the LPN dual credit pathway here as well?
I don't know that we've been doing anything on it, Heidi. You might, but certainly would love to get that conversation going again.
And I know my colleague, Mr. Hussey, has been working diligently on really creating some of those partnerships with the community colleges. So I will be sure that this is on his radar as well, because I'm excited about any opportunity our students can have to gain college credits during their high school time.
Absolutely. And I think with the signing of the MOU just the other day, it really formalizes that. But I think it's really a great opportunity for our healthcare students to earn those really valuable credentials that will get them. The thing about the LPN program, having it now for credit at the community college, that can then roll up into an RN. And currently they don't. So students go, or historically have gone to get an LPN from a private provider that is a non-credit based program. And then if they want to become an RN, they pretty much have to start all over again. And basically the LPN is almost the first year of an RN program. So we're really excited that CT State is re-implementing their LPN program.
Yeah, I think that is such a great opportunity, not just for our students, but young people at large. And I think a better opportunity for us to expand healthcare so that all healthcare professionals don't look like me.
I will say that I've had a recent experience of being in an emergency room in a hospital. And for my family member that was there, they had more care from male nurses than female nurses. And that was just really something that struck me that I had never experienced before. And so all great care, but it was really cool to see a lot of male nurses.
Well, I hope none of us have an opportunity to have to be treated by any of them, frankly, but glad to hear that your experience was a positive one. Can I answer any other questions or provide any additional information? I do know that we sent you kind of a packet. I believe it went out today with a lot of the numbers and statistics, really information ranging from high school entry-level positions on up to those with a college degree.
Awesome. Well, Dr. Pritchard, I don't know if we expected 22 minutes worth. Is there any?
Well, I was going to ask, and maybe Nikki could speak to this. How can the members, what kind of feedback? Again, this has been really helpful so far. Thanks particularly to Kelly for asking. But are there ways in which the board members can help? They should review. But what do you need from them in terms of their review or input before we finalize these at our March meeting?
So any additional, like, for example, Dr. Valeris asked about graduate follow-up, if they need any other information for this report, so they're comfortable in approving the cluster.
Okay.
Yeah, I really appreciate the distinction between what jobs our students can get immediately upon graduation. I think that's very, very important. And then which ones are on a pathway and to what degree are we facilitating that pathway, I think is really important. But, I think that's a big piece of it. And I know that the data from Department of Labor is helpful in just knowing what the demands are. But don't know if there's, anything else you'd want to see in the reports. So we would be bringing this to the full board at the meeting next Tuesday. And then again, we give people time with it and any other input they want to get to us, and then we don't vote on it until March. So that's the kind of plan going forward.
All right. Dr. Pritchard, totally different topic. I did appreciate your note about the opening session. Thank you very much.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, folks, I mean, we worked through this agenda pretty quick. If there's no other business, I guess we could entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Or stay here. No, motion by Kelly. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Opposed? Motion carries. See you all next week.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jim.
Yep. Bye.